It's definitely possible to retire in Zimbabwe, but you've got to plan carefully for it. And you've got to understand, your rights in every possible way, your rights of being a dual citizenship even. Abantu abaningi, they don't take advantage of the rights to be a dual citizenship between Zimbabwe and the host country where you live, whether it is, within Africa, in South Africa, Botswana, Zambia, whichever country it is, or whether it is the United Kingdom, the United States of America, or whichever country you live in. Zimbabwe recognizes dual citizenship. So if you're thinking about retiring to Zimbabwe, you need to plan ukuthi uzakwenza njani. Are you thinking of going to retire in Zimbabwe and just living in Zimbabwe nje, uthathe imshaqana yakho yonke, impahla yakho yonke, uhambe uyohlala ekhaya and never look back? Or are you thinking, you know what, I'm just going to go, I'm just going to build my life to a comfortable position where I can take advantage of my privileges in the United Kingdom or in South Africa as a citizen there, as well as take advantage of my privileges in Zimbabwe as a citizen there, so that you can be a floating citizen between the countries, or a floating permanent resident between the two countries. So ngezinye advantages that we have as Zimbabweans living in the diaspora, where we have been able to establish citizenships in those foreign countries. So mina, I am one person that have made a conscious decision to take full advantage of that, and have had the privilege for several years to live in Zimbabwe, and also the comfort of being able to go and fend for myself in a foreign country, and then to take advantage of the hard currency of the foreign country to invest in Zimbabwe to prepare my future, and also to prepare my future both in Zimbabwe and the other country, in whichever way I decide to move back and forth during my retirement. So this is one aspect of our advantage, or one aspect of life that Zimbabweans we have, that we don't probably, many people in the diaspora that don't probably make a decision to take advantage of. So that being said, into eqakatheke kakhulu, something that is very important if you're thinking about retiring in Zimbabwe, is how are you going to earn a living during your retirement years? Obviously, I'm sure your concern is that you don't want to be a burden to anybody, where you have absolutely nothing and you are dependent on other people's resources. Everyone, as we develop in our younger years towards our senior years, the wish is that in your senior years, if that's when you're going to retire, you are going to be assisted to live, assuming that at some point, whether you're 90 years old or you're 80 years old or you're 70 years old, you're going to be assisted to live using your own resources, not being a burden to others and their resources on a daily basis. So that's the type of lifestyle that you work up every day to try and work to eliminate the prospect of. So as Zimbabwe, there are several forms of securing your future as a retiree. And by the way, ukuba retiree, I look at it in different ways. These days, akusafani la kudala, where we were taught ukuthi retiring means, or thinking about retirement means thinking about being old and then not going to work. Nowadays, retire does not necessarily mean thinking about being old and then being sitting at home and not working anymore. You can retire at 50 years old, depending on how you have set yourself up in terms of passive income, in terms of businesses that work on your behalf, while you simply provide the advice and consultation and so forth. And, you can retire at an early age, basically. And then there is obviously the traditional retirement, which is based on age. Ukuthi hayi vele wonke umuntu ungaguga ufike a certain age, maybe ngabo 80 something, abo 90 years old, akusamelanga ukuthi uvuke usiye emsebenzini because you have to go to work, because you have to pay bills. To me, that's the retirement, that's the situation of old age or senior citizenship that I do not want to experience. I don't want to not prepare for my future today, where I will find myself at the age of 85 or 90, having to wake up in the morning to go and clock as an attendance sheet at work, because bills have to be paid. Whether it is rent or a mortgage or whatever. So zonke lezo izinto kumele ukuthi zikuthole iminyaka yakho, ukuguga kwakho kumele kukuthole well prepared, not to find yourself in that position. Okay, so how do you prepare yourself? There are several ways in which you can prepare yourself. One is, right now usaqinile nxa ungosebenzayo, whether it is self-employment or whether it is a traditional employment working for others. Zama ukuthi uzakhele umuzi wakho labantu abakho. Build yourself at home for yourself and your children. If you know that you are going to be retiring in Zimbabwe, partly, as well as retiring in the United Kingdom or in South Africa or wherever, whichever country you live in, just try to also build or establish some form of comfortable dwelling in Zimbabwe to call home. In the meantime, you can utilize that home in many other ways. Nxa ungakabi sesimeni sokuthi uyehlala khona permanently, you can use it as a rental property, Airbnb, whichever works for you. Then once usuwakhe umuzi wako, the next thing that you want to do is to probably start thinking about your interest in terms of income stream, income sources. As Zimbabwe, mining is big. Are you the kind of person that could be interested or very passionate about mining? Start creating AMA networks in that field. Are you the type of a person that is interested in farming? Start creating AMA networks in farming. Learn what works in Zimbabwe within those fields, where you need to go, how you need to establish yourself, whether it is registering with certain institutions or whatever the case may be. Are you the type of person that is interested in, real estate? Are you the type of person that is interested in retail, in wholesaling? So find your niche and find a niche that will take you into the future or into the retirement years that you are looking forward to, where, after all, you don't have to be the one that wakes up in the morning to go and work those sources of income or those businesses. Either others can, or money works for you in one form or another. Ngoba at the end of the day, when nxa uzavuka usiya emsebenzini as a retiree, the way that I look at it is, uzavuka usiya emsebenzini nje ukuthi uselula amathambo, just to keep yourself strong, so that ungagugiswa ukuhlala esofeni. Le ngqondo sihlale zikhaliphile, because bathi sometimes abantu abathatha retirement bayenze ibe yiliyani yokushona belele emasofeni, iminyaka yabo isheshe iphele masinya. So you don't want to fall into that trap as well. But yeah, so this is the little bit of information ebemfisa ukuthi ngiyisho ukuthi it's possible to go and retire in Zimbabwe. Again, okuqakatheke kakhulu, ama-Zimbabweans, most of the times we get caught up in the politics of the day. Sikhohlwe ukuthi i-politics of the day is run by employees. It's run by people that, more than likely, if you closed your eyes today and opened them again in 10, 15, 20, 30 years' time, they may be just existing in history books. So you can't deny yourself your right to your heritage because of a bunch of employees today that you are disgruntled about. So Mina, I have consciously refused to take away my rights of belonging to my country and having a piece of land or owning a piece of land in my heritage based on ukuthi I'm disgruntled with some politicians or whatever the case may be. So looking ngikukhulumela ukuthi I have had many people uzumuntu esithi hayi mina okweZimbabwe ngungeni ezeZimbabwe ngizingeni ama-politics kwathini ukhohlwa ukuthi ukhuluma ngabantu abadlulayo. You're talking about and thinking about people that are on their way out. Akukho kungapheliyo. Xa kungapheliyo kuyahlola ngesintu. So please do prepare yourself. Take advantage of all the rights that you have to build your future in Zimbabwe. And always remember, one thing. If you are not passionate about, taking advantage of your heritage in Zimbabwe, maybe your children will. And if they are not, maybe their children will. So wherever you can, if you still have existing roots in Zimbabwe, which I am sure that when you are listening to me now, it is because you do have those roots and it's because Zimbabwe still resonates well with you, regardless of what, may be the cause of you being out of Zimbabwe. You want to ensure, Uguti, you hold on to a piece of something that you own in that country. I have a strong feeling that at some point, whether it is in your lifetime or whether it is in your children's lifetime or their children's lifetime, somebody will be proud of what you held on to on their behalf. They'll be proud of your legacy. That's the retirement trend. That's the retirement planning that I'm talking about beyond just your lifetime. So, ngiyabonga bantu bakithi. I hope this has been a great conversation. My name is Thabo Siziba. Glad to have had you listen to me today. If you love what you hear, you love this channel, please feel free to subscribe. Feel free to share this channel with others and hit those likes. And most importantly, please share your thoughts. Share your thoughts about what you think about retiring in Zimbabwe. Is it a good idea? How can we prepare for it? Let's help each other with great ideas. And, let's keep each other informed. Thank you so much. Have a great time.